Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today, we're gonna check another tips and builds, but before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content. So, these tips and builds revolves around what I call balance supporters. And what are these so-called balance supporters? Well, these are gonna be supporters that give you a mixture of damage reduction as well as damage increase. There's quite a good number of those in the game, and at the beginning they might not seem that impressive, but they're actually pretty useful. So let's start by checking which are the so-called balance supporters. So let's see. Starting with, let's see, well, technically Ichika can be a balance supporter, but she's kind of niche, so we're gonna skip her. Because you need to proc poison in order to gain the extra damage reduction. Naturally, she's just going to give you damage increase. But one of the most common supporters that you can use for getting both damage reduction and damage increase is gonna be Hibiko. She's gonna be blue, and she's gonna be a supporter that you can use for demon type characters. Then we also have, let me check. No. Was this one? Yeah, Rinko. Holy Knight Rinko is a supporter that you can use. Her conditions are awkward a little bit because number one, she's going to be for assisted characters only. So damage of assisted characters increases by 26% when maxed out, and damage decreases by 26% when maxed out. So it is an okay supporter. The problem is that this is kind of limited. It's gonna be a holiday supporter that only appears on Christmas, so yeah, not easy to get. Still a pretty nice effect. Then we also have, for example, Shiranui. This was a seasonal supporter given to us for free, and one copy was available in the pack, so you should have, if you have the pack, that's gonna be 4 copies, and it gives you 26% damage increase and damage reduction to melee attacks when using the supporter. Yeah, it's a little bit restrictive, but still useful. Then we have, let me check, which other one? No, this one is more niche than balance. Let's see. We have, no, also more niche. I'm checking the ones that are kind of generic and perfectly balanced. So, Gal Lilim. Gal Lilim is another excellent supporter that you can use. She's going to be red. This one you can use on strategies that use debuffs, or you can use this one along with Momochi weapons or any other weapon that inflict a debuff. It's going to be pretty useful because it gives you a 22% damage increase and damage reduction to enemies with debuffs. The thing is that it's pretty easy to proc in most situations, so you're going to get the benefit most of the time. And on VR it's basically a perma damage increase and damage reduction. Oh yeah, we also have the Founding Tree. The Founding Tree is a little bit more difficult to use because, first you need to get the copies. This is a mileage supporter, so you have to roll a lot to get enough copies. Or you can use like Demonite and Nano Machine. But let me tell you guys, I do not recommend that you spend Demonite or Nano Machines on these specific kind of supporters. The balance supporters are meant to complement a mixture of offensive and defensive gameplay style that you want for specific situations. Then we also have White Knight Asagi. White Knight Asagi is another excellent strategy. She's going to work best on humans if you put it on the main because it gives you speed increase, but naturally this is going to reduce the damage taken from demon type enemies and increase damage dealt by 15%, and if it's maxed out it's going to be up to 30%, both effects. It is pretty strong, as you can see. 30 and 30, it's a really nice number. Usually it's going to be around 25 5, the balance effect. As you saw, Goblin was 22 when max out. Heavy Coil was, I think, 26. So yeah, another New Year Heavy doesn't quite fall into this category because it's going to give you either damage increase or damage reduction at a time. So we're gonna omit this one. Let's see which other supporter falls into this category. Oh yeah, Vacation for pretty good supporter. This is F2P. It isn't as good as the other supporters because her numbers are quite low, but I mean she's F2P, so you can use it. It works for demon type characters. It reduces the damage taken from demons by 11%, that's going to be 22%, and increases skill damage of demon type characters by 9%, which is going to be 18% when maxed out. And it also gives you invincibility, but it's very short, so it's not the greatest. But you can use this supporter, it's pretty effective at the role that we want to use. Also, we have Inage Natsu. Inage Natsu is a limited supporter. I think that she's already out, we don't have her anymore. So, what does Inage Natsu do? It increases damage dealt against debuffed enemies by 16%. That's going to be 32%. That's actually pretty big. And it decreases damage taken by 11% when the character is buffed. That's going to be 22%. And it also gives you an extra buff in case you're using it on the main. It is on a 10% chance, but it's going to be a 44% skill damage increase, which is pretty nice. So, yeah, as you can see, we have a bunch of different supporters. Maybe these are not all of them. Maybe I'm missing, for example, Cyaneo. Cyaneo is going to reduce damage taken from demon type enemies and increases skill damage of demon type enemies. And it also increases the HP of demon type enemies if you have it on the main. It's actually the complete package. This is amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have her, not even one copy, but this one is pretty strong. So, yeah. Why do we want this kind of supporter instead of going like full damage or full tank? Well, the main reason is that you're gonna use these supporters specifically when you are not using a pretty heavy control strategy. Let's say mind control with Oboro, or Wild Feather Asuka super armor break, or super slow with Witsu, things like that. If you don't use a strategy like that that stops the enemy on their tracks and you can go full damage on everything else, then you are probably going to use a strategy that relies on a healer. And while you do want to make your healer tanky, and maybe you equip something like exactly Nana, maybe depending on the color you equip Hisu, you can equip it depends on the characters. Punisher, Yukikase, Aina, Winchester, Corporate Warrior, Ingrid. Let's see, what else can you equip? You can equip Susune, Kamiki Susune. You can equip Sakuya, Fairy Sakura. Let's see. Of course, Akina. You can also equip Sharia, Major. There's plenty of options for defensive builds, and you would also use kind of the defensive Magatamas, of course, to fight against, to face someone while being tanky. But in the end, you want to deal enough damage so that you eliminate the enemy before the timer runs out. So going full tank is not the greatest option. Just by providing some damage reduction, as well as having the awakening skills. The awakening skills do matter. But by providing some damage and exchanging, for example, this Nana for a good enough, where are you? A good enough Heaviko, you could survive while also healing. That's why we want to use this. Usually, you're going to do a combination like this, actually, which is going to be a damage increase supporter, a damage reduction supporter, and your balance supporter, which is going to increase both attack and defense. That's kind of it. But if you can go for a combination like this one, like the one that I have with Phantasma, which is going to be, I don't have it, but it's going to be something like this. You gave her a damage increasing supporter along with 2 damage reduction supporters. Now that I think about it, I also miss Momochi Nagi. Momochi Nagi is another excellent damage reduction supporter, gives you 24% damage increase and damage reduction, and it is for suppressed step characters, pretty easy condition to fulfill. And I can equip either Furfur or Gal Lilim. These supporters are also very effective when you are using a character which has a ton of HP recovery. Let's say Murasaki or Phantasma. Phantasma is great because on red you can equip Twister Dance and Crunching Fear, and then you're going to be able to survive most of the hits, and then just heal. Even if you're low on health, you're going to deal a good amount of damage, thus healing your HP. So that's the idea about using these supporters, that you want to use them whenever you are not overwhelming the enemy with either super armor break, slow, or mind control. And you're going to rely on a healer or on your own healing skills, like Phantasma would. I can just, for example, now that we are facing, let me check, Queen Arachne, I can just do a build. Let's see. I'm going to do this very quickly. And since I have Lapis here, what would I do? I want someone which is going to provide something for the team. Maybe tank a little bit while also dealing damage and supporting the team. An excellent example would be probably, if I can find her, Shizuru. Sorry. Let's see, which were the Magatamas? They were wind. Well, whatever. I will put the wind Magatamas, no matter. So I just need to find the 1, 2, 3, and 4 anti-demon, and 4 whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So Shizuru can offer a ton of things for the team. With this weapon, she's going to buff the party, well, whichever characters are in the AoE of Rose Rondo, and Rose Rondo is also going to debuff the enemy when using one red supporter. So she naturally is going to provide defense reduction, and also with the weapon buff the enemy, but this character is very, very, very squishy. So by giving her just 2 supporters, let's say, which ones? Yeah, Nagi and Galilim, now she's gonna become very tanky, or at least tanky enough to survive the hits and let Lapis heal her. That's the idea. Lastly, we're gonna be using we want usually damage increase, and Susune is one of the best options because you're also going to get healing. This is particularly good for characters who do not have their own healing, and for characters who have regens, because regens aren't as effective as healing that is based on damage. So we're gonna use, very quickly, stats, weapon, 4 out of 5 plus 15, 5 out of 5 plus 15, anti-demon wind, whatever Magatemes, Rose Rondo, Whip Shot, Sprout Garden, with Susune, Nagi, and Galilim. These are the stats of the costumes. 4 lapis, we're gonna keep it like with this. Yeah, this. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, plus 15, both of them. Anti-demon, water and fire, whatever Magatamas. Piercing dash, gem support, moral boost. We're gonna change this one. No, it is perfect as it is. Aneros is important so that we use the Momochi weapon effectively. If not, you can go with another weapon and another supporter. For example, an excellent idea would be to equip the newly added Momochi. No, Onigumo Sauro. Yeah, she's great actually. Yeah, why not? Let's put her here. Yep, there we go. For the stats customs, this one, did I show you this? Yeah, I forget. Lastly, I don't think I wanna do this with this one. I think I'll use Astaroth because I need more damage if I'm going to go further into this BR boss. Let me just check. What was the oops? Yeah, that's better. This one and this one. Fire, wind. Nah, I have an idea. I'm gonna remove these ones. Fire, ice. There we go. Anti-demon. And these are going to be the wind. Anti-demon. Human, machine, demon. There we go. And whatever for attack Magatemas. You are Magatemas. Like this. Perfect. For Astaroth, what do I want to use? Well, I guess I can go green just by doing this and this because the enemy is going to be debuffed. Where is Astaroth? Where is Astaroth? Do I have Astaroth equipped? No, I don't. Where is Dark Sun Astaroth? Here. Here she is. Lastly, I want another one that increases my damage. But who? Against slow enemies, damage increase. Yeah, but no. Yeah, that's better. That's more like it. Full damage so that I can just obliterate the enemy. And let's go with Classic Astaroth. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. She's maxed out because it's Astaroth. It's very easy to farm with her. 5 out of 5 plus 15, both of them. Anti-demon. Serpent Blaze, Lava Serpent, Fire Blast. Then Dark Astaroth, Misaki, Nano, the custom stats, and yeah, the main focus of your attention should be Shisui, because she is the one who's taking advantage of that balance supporter, so that those two balance supporters, so that she can survive while providing utility for the team. I didn't even check the skills, but I'll keep them as they are. I'm gonna change them later because I'm gonna do more builds with different characters who can take advantage of these supporters for you to have various examples, because there's different conditions. Shizuru is using Nagi, and Nagi has to be red. So fortunately Shizuru can take advantage of that character, but not every character is going to be red. There's also the option for demon type characters using either Furfur or what's the name of this girl? Hebiko. Furfur or Hebiko. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Just one more. I see I have Lava Serpent. First ultimate. Then I get closer, I do this. And come on. No? Well, doesn't matter. Yeah, the utility that Shizuru provides is very good. She gives a very hefty defense reduction, and being able to get advantage of that attack buff is pretty good. But normally she wouldn't be able to survive even with healing from Lapis, because she's super squishy. That's why we want to use this kind of supporters. The same can be said about a Phantasma. Let's go with Phantasma. Phantasma has to be a red. I mean, I'm gonna use another one instead of. Let's see. Momochi is probably the best, but I'm going to use the F2P options, okay? I'm gonna use only F2Ps for Phantasma. Where is Phantasma? So for Phantasma, we equip again Ice, Ice, Fire, Fire, and All Light. If I find the last one, yeah. And then we're gonna be using Furfur with Galilim. Galilim, where are you, Galilim? Here. Let's see, Demon. Okay. So for this specific strategy, I say I'm gonna go F2P and I will, but let me just tell you that you could use Spinel on the main, just to increase the damage of your other characters, which is pretty effective. Let's see. But I'm gonna use... I can go with Susune. I mean, I can just equip Susune, but I'll do this because I don't need the extra healing and I want to show you different options. So, all of them F2P, 4 out of 5 plus 13, 5 out of 5 plus 13, Anti-Demon, Ice and Fire. Well, the Magatemas are going to be the same. Slash Horror, no. We want Crunching Fear, Twister Dance, and there's options here. You can use Phantasmal Shade. If you think that the mobs are going to hit you a lot, you can use Phantasmal Mirror. That's an option. Slash Horror, yes you can, but not my favorite. But you can. And the basic enhancers. Like, all the options are pretty good, but I'll go with Phantasmal Mirror. So the supporters, you already know. The custom, the stat training. And now, let's check it. I could go without Lapis if I was using someone who is able to heal by themselves. But I am not, so I'll keep the other two as they are. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Fire Blast. Let's go with Fire Wave. It's more appealing, in my opinion. Like, it is great, especially when there are multiple enemies. Because the other attack is going to single target one enemy. The fireballs disappear. And there we go. I'm going to use the active. And even though Lapis is healing Phantasma, she is self-sufficient. I have shown other videos where I don't use a healer and I use Phantasma with that build, and she can survive pretty easily. That's the appeal of increasing both the damage reduction and the damage increase, because you're able to heal more while being able to survive hits. Because Phantasma, even though she's pretty strong, she's kind of squishy unless you have a couple damage reduction effects. So yeah, trust me, you do want to go with this. If you can even go like... I can do it because I have a ton of awakening skills. But if you're still having trouble with Phantasma surviving, be sure to equip another damage reduction supporter, like fully dedicated to reducing damage. Kind of Major, Sharia. It could be if you're facing a boss. No, you cannot go green. It could be either machine or human with Major or Saria, or you can go with Momochi Nagi on the third slot, because fortunately suppress tape characters have it very easy if they want to go full red, because they have 3 options for this kind of balance build. Let's see. What about if we want to use something different? Let's see. I'm gonna remove this. Another character that provides utility while also wanting to reduce damage. Let's see. Which could that be? I'm thinking about the options. Because I want Demon, number one. So let's do this. I mean, of course, Obor is an option, but we want to avoid mind control because you can just abuse mind control in most situations. Oh yeah, let's use supporter Kirara just for the fun of it. So supporter Kirara, while my Hibiko is not the greatest option, it is just 2 out of 5, and it's not enchanted, which is pretty bad. You can use this one. Then what else am I going to use? Let's see. Do I have even something that I can... Wait a moment. Wait a moment. She's going to be using Luffy's drop, and this is going to give her a buff every now and then, not like all the time. Can I get a buff? Let's see. Reduce the speed. Increase my speed. Yeah, 10 seconds. Good enough. Good enough. So I am going to use Natsu. And since both of these supporters are not with a good S level, I'm going to use another defensive option instead of a damage increase supporter. I could go with something simple like Akina, but I think instead I'm gonna be using Sakuya. And I'll put Natsu on the main so that I can get another buff every now and then. So yeah, something like that. Ice, ice. Fire, fire. Then light, 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 light. And this is perfect as it is. Supporters, start training. 2 out of 5 plus 10. 4 out of 5 plus 13. Customs. And let's see. Yeah, I'll keep it this way. I am gonna need the healing, especially because the both weapon and supporters are not all S level 5. So it's gonna be pretty useful to have a healer, regardless. So as I mentioned, you preferably use these kind of supporters whenever you cannot abuse very like offensive strategies, so that you are able to heal. Nice, nice, nice. That freezing, increasing my damage. I mean, the magic is Obor, not Oboro, Astaroth doing the damage. But having a utility pick is always good. And this is also a pretty good option for characters, for example, like Lina. Lina Blue is very aggressive, so you can equip both Natsu, Inage Natsu, with this Heaviko, and it would work great. But since I am not using the like, I don't have enough copies of both of those supporters to be 5 out of 5. I think that Lina could be a little bit squishy depending on who I'm facing. And Lina doesn't like bulky enemies because she's not able to use her healing skill properly. So be careful when using her in particular. Yeah, almost done. Yeah, look at those buffs, which are going to help me out with Inagenatsu's effects. Nice. And the enemy being debuffed is also nice. Perfect. Let's see, who else can I use? Well, I don't have... I think I have one copy of Rinko. So maybe I can go with green. But who do would I want to use in green? Let me think of a utility pick that I can use that keep me value on green. Tokiko. Well, Tokiko is an option, yeah, for sure. Like, let me check. Tokiko. And Urehara Ring could work. Kinda. Kinda. But I think that I'm gonna wait. Because I'm not feeling it with her. How can I explain it? While she's good, she doesn't provide enough utility. She has the HP recovery, she has electrocute, but it's only one attack that inflicts electrocute, so that's the issue there. So I put this, and I don't need to equip anything else, and I'm gonna go green. So we can use, as I mentioned, White Knight Asagi, and this is assist. So technically, if you have her, you can use Rinko. I don't think this is wise of me, but let's do it. And what was the other option? Let's see, on green. No, 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 no. I think that's about it for green options. Yeah, seems like it. Oh yeah! I almost forgot about you. This is an excellent option. Let's see. Do I need to put it on the main? No, not necessarily. I don't need that critical damage increase. Not on BR. So, Tokiko is gonna be tanky enough, I guess. We're going to use Clairvoyance, of course, along with Blast. And let's see. Is there something? No, there's nothing that is going to give me good value other than the basic enhancer, because I want to keep some distance between me and the enemy. So yeah, with this, I'm gonna be pretty tanky. Unfortunately, she cannot heal. That's why we use Lapis. And let's see. Let's go with that. Obviously, this. It seems that I'm not focusing on the balanced supporters, because I'm not piloting the supporters, the characters that have those equipped. But that's because you use those supporters on characters that are going to buff of the or debuff of give some kind of different value. Like Phantasma is going to reduce the defense of the enemy with her leader skill, while she taunts the enemy and heals the party. Tokiko is going to reduce the defense of the enemy. Who Shizuru is going to she's going to increase your attack if you have the weapon, as well as reduce the defense of the enemy, and also heal the whole party with her healing field while debuffing the enemy. So yeah, it has a lot of things. Let's see. If you equip it with Lina, she would be a sub attacker that is bulky enough to survive the enemy's hits, because she can be very squishy. Usually, you want to pilot her if you're going full damage, because sometimes the AI is not going to be smart enough to use the healing skill properly, and they're going to be in a pretty dire situation. So let's see. I think that we're gonna do just one more build, and that's gonna be it. As you can see, having two balanced supporters is usually more than enough for your compositions, especially if those supporters are 5 out of 5. If not, perhaps you do want three of them, because depending on how strong the enemy is, you may need more survivability, or you can change the third supporter for something that is fully dedicated to damage reduction. And yeah, I'm just doing the basics here. ultimate to interrupt the animation, and done. Okay, which will be the last one? I mean, no character with our Wicked Star weapon is gonna need this. They could, and they would become even more efficient, but 40% damage reduction is already pretty good combined with the awakening skills. So, who is squishy enough and supportive enough for the team? Uh, I mean, you could use it with Aina, but I'm not gonna use it with Aina. Oh, I'm lazy to do something like that. Too lazy. Let's see. I was mentioning Rin, Lina. Who else? Who else? Sakura doesn't provide good enough value on this specific stage. Red, no. I mean, she has a weapon, so she doesn't even need it. Let's see. I guess that I'm going to go with either Saika or... Oh, Eleanor is also a great option. She's pretty squishy. Yeah, I'm gonna do it with Eleanor. Like, people do like Eleanor because you can use her with the Guide of the Starry Sea, which is her limited weapon, and you can also use her with, even if you don't have that weapon, you can use her with White Feather Asuka to break the super armor, which is pretty good. But here I'm just gonna use the limited weapon instead of doing the combination limited weapon Asuka. So I'm gonna equip this Galilim, and she's red. No, she is assist. So I can go with this one instead. I do need to go full red, so you can equip whatever you want. I didn't use this one, but this one, just so that you know, has better uses on the main slot because it gives you a very big damage increase whenever you dodge. So I'm gonna use this because snaring and healing is gonna be pretty effective. Reflective Ray, Acid Rain, and Geyser Burst. Remember, you can equip White Thorasca if you want. 5 out of 5 plus 15, 4 out of 5 plus 14. Let's go with Ice, Fire, Ice and Fire. And then whatever Magatamas here. Perfect. These are the skills, the stat training, the supporters, and the stats of the custom. There we go. So let's just is that the highest? Yeah, it is the highest. So let's do this last run, and hopefully you find these supporters. You see these supporters under a new light, in a new light, because I do like them a lot. Having two of these supporters along with a damage increase or damage reduction supporter is gonna be super great for your strategies. For those characters which provide utility but are kind of squishy without them, like you could also use defensive Magatamas to complement your strategies, but preferably you go with attack Magatamas because you always want to have the most damage possible. Let's see. Come on. No. I am trying to catch an attack so that I can use Lava Servant, but it's not working. Oh, I break it! My god, I am terrible at this game. Well, in any case, let's see. So yeah, what? Oh, it was the Eleanor's skill. They were just levitating, and I was like, "What? Where are they going? What's happening? What kind of glitch is this?" But no, it was no glitch. Or perhaps it was. I mean, that AoE was way too big. And there we go. Eleanor unfortunately cannot heal by herself. That's why having Lapis is so great. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's how you use the balance supporters. I know, kinda, that Grimoire is going to keep adding those balance supporters, and they're gonna give us more options. Let's hope that they are more green. Red is kind of the strongest. Blue is okay-ish, but green, well, blue and green have both the same options, if I'm not mistaken. Like, no, not this one. We have the Founding 3, Furfur, Natsu, Galilim, White Knight Asagi. Let's see, who else? Oh yeah, Rinko, but she's limited. Um, uh, Sakura is kind of also balanced, but at the same time she's super niche because she only works effectively with who? Shisui. She works effectively with Shisui because she reduces damage taken, but also increases damage of familiars, and all of the damage from Shisui comes from familiar, from the golem. Yeah. Let's see. Am I missing someone? Here we have Heaviko. I think not. Like, um, I think that I'm missing someone, but I'm not too sure. Like, oof. Technically now it's also balanced, and it's probably the strongest balance supporter because of the numbers. The only issues that we cannot control when the enemy is going to have debuffs, if we had more supporters like Mifuyu over here, that has a demerit that gives a critical rate buff to the enemy, which is the best debuff, the best buff that you can give to an enemy, because that doesn't do anything effectively. So yeah, that would be great. Gremory, please give us more ways to buff the enemy ourselves. Yeah. I didn't count Felicia as a balance supporter, even though she does give a substantial amount of defense. It is not like active all the time. Let's see. Yeah, Yukikase. Yukikase gives you damage increase and damage reduction for range attacks, but similar to who? Rinko, Holy Knight Rinko. She's gonna be a holiday supporter. She only becomes available on New Year. So yeah, that's kind of rough. Let's see. Someone else? I think not, guys. I think that's about it. So yeah, what do you think about these supporters? Do you think that you're gonna use them a little bit more now that you know when to use them effectively? Did you already know how to use them? Do you never use them? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!